the God that healeth thee. I am the Lord, your healer. I sent my word and healed your disease. I am the Lord, your healer.
God's name is more powerful than any disease you can name tonight. You might have received a horrible report from the doctors and told you your disease is incurable. But you know what? There's hope tonight. There is hope because God's promised that He would heal us. I want you to put His word on your lips tonight. Sing His word back to Him. And see if His name isn't more powerful than cancer, than heart disease, or any disease that you can name tonight. Oh yes, He's your healer. Let's sing it to Him. You are the God that healeth me.
You are the God that healeth me. You are the Lord, my healer. You sent your word and you healed my disease. You are the Lord, my healer. You are the God. You are the God that healeth me. Oh, you are the Lord. You are the Lord, my healer. You sent your word and you healed my disease. You are the Lord, my healer. You sent your word and you healed my disease. You are the Lord, my healer. You sent your word and you healed my disease. You are the Lord, my healer. When you've prayed every prayer that you know how to pray, just remember the Lord will hear, and the answer is on its way. Our God is able, He is mighty, He is faithful, and He never sleeps, He never slumbers, He never tires of hearing our prayer. When we are weak, He becomes stronger. So rest in His love and cast all of your cares on Him. Do you feel that the Lord has forgotten your need? Just remember that God is always working in ways you cannot see. That's right. Our God is able, He is mighty, He is faithful, and He never sleeps, He never slumbers, He never tires of hearing our prayer. When we are weak, He becomes stronger. So rest in His love and cast all of your cares on Him. He never sleeps. Oh no. He never tires of hearing our prayer. stronger. So rest in His love and cast all of your cares on Him. The Bible tells us to cast all of our cares on Him because He cares for us. My friend, this is more than a promise, it's a command. So be at rest, because today God is working in ways that you cannot see. He never sleeps, He never slumbers. Sing it.
He never sleeps, He never slumbers,
He never tires,
He never tires
of hearing our prayer. When we are weak, He becomes stronger. So rest in His love and cast all of your cares on Him. He never sleeps, yeah. He never sleeps, He never slumbers, He never tires,
He never tires
of hearing our prayer. When we are weak, He becomes stronger. So rest in His love and cast all of your cares. So rest in His love and cast all of your cares. So rest in His love and cast all of your cares on Him.
Hello, welcome once again. It's another wonderful Saturday, and it's good to have you here on Crossover TV on the Health Talk Show. My name is Dr. Frederick Agey. I am your host. Before I introduce my guests on this show, I want to remember our viewers out there that health is expensive. Always make sure that you eat right, eat good, sleep well, sleep good. Good health is better than riches. Is a piece of advice I have for you. Today we are going to talk about a very interesting topic that I think each and everybody needs to know. It's about the safety and the health of our children at home. Dad, you need to watch. Mom, you need to watch. Sister, aunties, you all need to watch and get to know the safety of your children as far as child health is concerned. Do you know what happened to your child at age 0? That is the first day the child is born, to age 5. That is when the child turns 5 years. It will interest you to know some of the things our children goes through at the age 0 to the age 5, and then what our health professionals do for these kids at that particular age. Let me not take your time, and then let's go straight and introduce our guest. You can also follow us on Facebook, it's Crossover TV, YouTube, Crossover TV. The name of the show is Crossover TV Health Talk Show. You can watch us live on Facebook right now. You can also watch us on YouTube, Crossover TV. Let me introduce my guest, Madam Esther Awati. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
You are looking good in your black outfits.
Thank you very much.
Wow, that's wonderful. Yes, so Esther Awate is a registered public health nurse and then she works with one of the biggest facility in Ghana. She's our guest on the show, and today we are discussing immunization or child health. We are discussing child health, and under child health, we're going to look at immunization. Esther Wati, once again, you are welcome.
Thank you very
All
much.
right. So, just like the program is all about, we educate, we inform, and entertain our viewers as far as health is concerned. Today we are talking about child health, and then our main focus on child health, we are looking at immunization. Can you please, being a registered public health nurse, I think your department is much more into handling things that has to do with child health and then immunization and other community diseases outbreak. As time goes on, we will look at some of them. But today we are looking at immunization. So please tell us, when we talk of child health, what is child health? What does the parent need to know as far as child health is concerned?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So with child health, we are talking about the children's well-being.
Okay.
Talking about their psychological, their physical, emotional well-being as well.
Okay.
And then with that, we are trying to prevent them from any physical harm.
Okay.
Do you get it? Okay. So the main focus with children from 0 to 5 years is to do with they not getting these killer diseases, which is going to be detrimental to their health.
Okay.
For them to grow well, healthy, for us to have a happy child at the end of it.
Wow. Wow.
So that is what the short
Wow.
thing we can say about child health.
Wow. Viewers, I told you there is more for us to learn, more for us to learn. I mean, on this show, we are getting to know that the public health department of our hospitals are doing a wonderful work as far as the well-being and the safety of our children is concerned. They take care of them from the age 0 to the age 5 years. Now, Auntie Esther, I want us to look at, when the parents, especially when our mothers give birth to us, which I believe every rational human being might have gone through that stage before, as far as you are delivered at the hospital, or better still, you were delivered in the house but you end up at the hospital. Your child, one way or the other, would also pass through the same thing we are talking about. So when a woman delivers from the stage 0 age, that is the first day of delivery, so that the child turns 5 years, what is expected of the child? What is the public health department doing for these children? Because most of the times you see most mothers coming to the OPDs on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Friday, depending on the facility where you find yourself. Some facilities do Wednesday for their family, how do we call it, child welfare, and then some do Thursday, some do Friday and all that. So these number of days that our mothers go to the hospital with their children, what happens? What are they sharing money? Are they sharing food for their kids? I want to know. I'm curious.
Thank you. Okay, so what happened is that we take care of the children from 0 to 5 years, as I said early on. And then what happens is that when the child is being delivered in the hospital, right from there we start our work. Okay, so our department works on Monday to Friday. So when it happens that the child was given birth to on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, we come around, give the child's first immunization, which is the BCG.
Okay.
So the BCG and then polio O.
Okay.
BCG helps prevent tuberculosis.
Wow.
Yes, please. BCG helps prevent tuberculosis, and then it's being given on the upper arm, on the right upper arm.
Okay.
Yes, it is given intradermal.
Okay.
To create a little something there.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then later, within 2 weeks, it's bath, and then we get a skull there.
Okay, so
Yes.
so I want to understand something. Is it the same skulls that most
Yes,
of the
please.
I have one here which is a bit bigger one, but
Yes,
some
please.
people have it pointed and all
Yes,
that. So that is what you are talking about.
Yes, please. So,
Oh, okay.
and that immunization can be taken up to 1 year of age.
Oh, okay.
Yes, please.
Okay.
It is very necessary because these children are very susceptible to this diseases,
Okay.
which is the tuberculosis. You know, tuberculosis is an airborne disease.
Okay.
When the child comes out, enters into our environment, is polluted with all this kind of infection, they inhale it and then they get infected.
Wow.
So to prevent that, we give it at right after birth, before the child mingles with other people. Okay. So that is what we do.
Okay.
And then afterwards, their next schedule is at 6 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, let me chip in this.
All right.
Before that, I said early on that when the children are being given birth to in the hospital, we come around.
Okay.
But sometimes it happens that these mothers give birth before coming to the hospital.
Okay.
So at that time, they have to find a health facility closer to them.
Okay.
And get for the BCG immunization
Okay.
and the polio O as well.
Okay.
But with the polio O, you can only take it up to 2 weeks of birth.
Okay.
Do you get
Oh,
it?
so it means right from the moment the mother will deliver the child, the mother have 2 weeks grace period
for the polio O.
to go
but
in
with
for
the BCG, we can give it up to
1 year.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So if the child, to my understanding, which I know our viewers would also want to be sure of that, so with the BCG, as you are saying, it means when the child is delivered on the first day, the mother has a grace period of 1 year from day one of delivery to immunize the child as far as the BCG is concerned.
That is it. We can give it to 1 year.
Okay.
But it is best when we give it at birth.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
Because you don't want to get infected before coming for the vaccine.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
That's good. Well, so viewers, I think the conversation is getting interesting. Our public health nurse, Madam Esther Awate, is really educating us. We are learning something good, something new. I mean, mommies and daddies, even the children, when you are taking your shower and you see that mark, the mark we normally see here, the mark we always see is on our shoulders. You know, some people have theirs very big, some have theirs faint, some have theirs different shapes and different design. And sometimes you'll be asking your mom what kind of injection. There was a time a patient walked into the consulting room, and then when we were examining the patient, we saw the mark. So the patient was like, nurse, you know what me because she happens to have a very big mark right there. So our public health expert is telling us what gives us that particular mark is a particular injection that we take at birth. When our mummies give birth to us at day one of birth, up to 1 year of birth, that is the immunization we take. It is called the BCG immunization. So once that injection is given, you have some kind of blister there, and then after a time, the blister just goes off or bursts off, and then you have that little scar there, which also add up, you know, to your achievements. You'll be able to boast your chest and tell everybody, we're on TV, I would have shown you my mark. I have one. So you can tell everybody that you've been immunized against or immunized with the BCG injection. So the conversation is getting interesting. Let's still go to our public health experts, Madam Esther Awate, to learn more. So Auntie Esther, you were telling us, so after the BCG and then the polio injection, what next?
So the polio is an oral immunization.
Okay.
The BCG is an injection.
Okay.
But the polio is an oral immunization.
Mm.
Then their next schedule will be booked at 6 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, 6 weeks.
Okay.
With that, we give them the penta. We
Okay.
have a 5 disease which has been combined.
Okay.
5 vaccine which has been combined into one vaccine, into one vial.
Okay.
And then we call it penta.
Okay.
It contains the diphtheria
Okay.
vaccine. It contains the pertussis vaccine.
Okay.
It contains the tetanus vaccine.
Okay.
It contains the hepatitis B vaccine.
Okay.
It contains Haemophilus influenza type B vaccine.
Wow.
So all making 5 vaccine, which has been combined into one.
Okay.
So we call it
Interesting.
pentavalent vaccine.
Oh, pentavalent vaccine.
Vaccine.
Okay. We are
Or
learning.
shortly,
The
penta.
grammar the grammar is big, but I mean, we are learning. Okay, so the penta vaccine.
The penta vaccine.
All right, okay.
So the penta vaccine, that is given on the left lateral part of the thigh.
Okay.
Yes, the
Okay.
left lateral part of the thigh.
Okay.
As we give pneumococcal vaccine as well,
Okay.
that goes to the right lateral part of the thigh.
Okay. So what is the use of the pneumococcal vaccine you talked about?
Yes, please. So the pneumococcal prevents pneumonia.
Oh, okay.
Yes, please.
Just
So,
as the name goes.
just as the name
pneumococcal.
goes, pneumococcal.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
with the penta, it protects them against 5 diseases,
Okay.
which is the diphtheria I talked about,
Okay.
the pertussis,
Okay.
the tetanus, the
Hepatitis
hepatitis
B.
B,
Okay.
and then the Haemophilus influenza type B.
Okay.
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 So the left one is for the pentavalent,
Okay.
and then the right we give the pneumococcal,
Okay.
and then it comes with the OPV as well.
Okay.
OPV prevents polio diseases.
Okay.
So we now start with the OPV1.
Okay.
You know, at birth we gave OPVO,
Okay.
and then at 6 weeks OPV1,
Okay.
and then Rota.
Okay.
Rotavac. At first, we used to give Rotarix.
Okay.
Yes, it was a single. It's oral though,
Okay.
but it was a single
Single dose.
dose.
Okay.
But now we give a 5 dose.
Okay.
Okay, it's in a vial which contains about 25 doses.
Okay.
But we give it to 5 children at a go.
Okay.
So each child takes 5 doses of the Rotavac
Okay.
vaccine.
Okay. Okay.
So that is it for 6 weeks. Then the next one is at 14 weeks, which is
Okay.
4 weeks apart.
Apart. Okay.
Okay. Then we give the same immunization. That is the Rotavac. That is the pentavalent vaccine, the pneumococcal, the OPV2.
Okay.
Now we count OPV2.
OPV2.
Then
Because
the
OPV1 has been
OPV1
given.
has been
Okay.
given at 6 weeks.
All right.
Then Rotavac 2.
Okay.
Did you get it?
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
I do.
Then the next one, we give this vaccine, this particular vaccine, from the 6 weeks.
Okay.
We give it 3 consecutive months.
Okay.
We give it in a duration of 3 consecutive months.
Okay.
So the first month they take the first immunization,
Okay.
which is at 6 weeks. Then at 14 weeks, which at 10 weeks,
Okay.
which is 2 months, 2 weeks.
Okay.
They come for the same immunization.
Okay.
Then at 14 weeks, they take the third one
Okay.
to complete the vaccination
Okay.
for these particular diseases that I have mentioned.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
Then with the 14 weeks, we give IPV immunization. That is the intramuscular form of the OPV, the polio.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because we have realized that with the OPV, some people are not able to get fully protected. So the government, World Health Organization thought about it,
Okay.
and then brought about the IPV,
Okay.
which is being given at 14 weeks.
Okay.
Yes, to add up to the OPV. So if you weren't protected with the OPVO, OPV1, OPV2, OPV3, then we are most assured that with the IPV, you are fully immunized from the polio disease.
Okay. Okay. Wow, viewers, I guess the conversation is getting interesting. We are learning something. We would announce our WhatsApp lines. You can bring your question. You can WhatsApp us with all your questions and your thoughts. What is bothering you as far as your child health is concerned? My expert is here. She's going to address our questions and our worries as far as our child health is also concerned. The numbers to WhatsApp is on the screen. You can look at the screen and then WhatsApp us with your question. We are going to address them for you. And then as time goes on, also we would open the phone lines. You can call into the show, and then you will tell us your questions and then suggestions, and our experts would address it for you. The name of the show is Crossover Health Talk Show. Crossover Health Talk Show. That is the name of the show. It is showcased every day and every Saturday exactly at 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. each and every Saturday, and it's repeated on Thursdays at exactly 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. as well. Do make a date with us. You can watch the show on Facebook. That is Crossover TV on Facebook. You can also stream live with us on YouTube. Crossover TV on YouTube. The show is being streamed live on all the social media channels. Dr. Frederick Agey, your host, and I'm here with Esther Awati. She is a public health expert, public health expert, registered public health expert, and she works with one of the finest and the biggest hospital right here in Accra. She's with me in the studio, and we are discussing child health as far as immunization is concerned. So, Auntie Esther, let me ask this question real quick. So, what really happened if you know, there has been situations, especially in our remote areas, where let me applaud our Ghana Health Service and then our Ministry of Health. Now they are doing very well, you know, trying to push health to the doorsteps of every Ghanaian as much as possible as the institution can do. But nevertheless, the fact that there are still some remote areas in Ghana that have difficulties in accessing health care because the distance of where the health facility is located is far away from them, and for that matter they are not able to go to the hospital for this immunization and things you are talking about. So what is the public health department in our hospital, what are they doing? Is it that what is your work aside the immunization? Is it that, I mean, your core mandate is to be in the hospitals and we, the parents, will bring their children for you to vaccine them? That is one. And then number two, what really happens if a child is not vaccinated against all these vaccines you've mentioned earlier on, and the child turns, let's say, 3 years or 4 years or even 5 years? What becomes out of the child, please?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so with the public health unit, we don't just focus on the immunization.
Okay.
We check the child's growth monitoring as well.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a graph, we plot each weight on.
Okay.
So from 6 weeks, that is when they come for their first weighing with the public health department. We check their weight, and then it should be a range because not every child was given birth to at 2.5. You know, the normal range should be between 2.5 to 3.5. Some children are below the 2.5.
That is
and
underweight.
Then underweight.
Okay.
And then some are above the 3.5 from birth. Okay, so it is a range. But when, according to the graph or the growth monitoring chart, when we have a child from 2.3 to 2.5 to 3.5, we classify those children to be normal children, and as they are growing, the pattern should follow. We have a green mark that we follow. So if they are slightly below the green line or slightly above the green line, we turn it normal. Afterwards, we have the black line and then the red line, which indicates the underweight and then severely underweight. We have the black line and then the red line on top of the green line. I wish we brought the graph here to show. Yes, which also indicates when the child is being overweight or obese. So we don't just give immunization. We check their growth monitoring to whether they are growing well as they are supposed to. And then not only that, their length. We check their length, whether they are standing, their length is on a normal scale. Please, you get it. So that before we get to know earlier, before it becomes too late. And then if there is any help we can do for the child, we do that. We counsel the children, the mother on the on exclusive breastfeeding as well. We help the mother to know that taking care of yourself is paramount for the child's well-being as well. Yes, so we do counseling sections. We do even aside that, we do family planning service. Yes, to prevent the mother from having children at a tender age. When one is breastfeeding, the other one comes along. It tends to give the child the previous child less attention. Whereby it affects their development as well. So it is not only with the immunization. We do the growth monitor, as I said early on. We do the counseling sections as well. And then what happens with children who don't come to the weighing center or who are not immunized? What we do is that we don't have, even though with facilities we run static clinics, which is like run from Monday to Friday. Yes, we also go on outreaches where we have a smaller clinic or a cheap zone, where it's closer to, which is closer to our homes, where the parents can access. Those who are in a hurry to come to us and then go to work or go to their farms. And then when all this fail, when they are not able to come, later on we follow them up.
Okay.
So we have what we call the home visiting sections.
Okay.
Yes, whereby we go to their various homes and then see children who have not taken the supposed immunization and then give accordingly.
Wow.
Yes, and then with the vaccines I spoke about, the pentavalent, the pneumococcal, the OPV, and then rota to a stage, we can give up to 5 years. So when we get a child who is not above 5 years,
Okay.
we can equally give.
Okay.
Yes. And then aside that, we have the vaccine we give at 6 weeks.
Okay.
6 months.
Okay.
6 months, which is the vitamin A.
Okay.
It is a supplement,
Okay.
which helps boost their immunity.
Okay.
And then lack of vitamin A prones the children to getting. We have the xerophthalmia, which affects their
The
eye.
eye. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So we are trying to prevent all of this.
Okay.
Some people they become malnourished because of the quality of food their parents give them. So these supplements also help them, to get the required nutrients they need. We also have the vaccine at 9 months, and then the last immunization, which is the injection, is being given at 1.5 years.
Okay.
Which is so at 9 months we give the yellow fever vaccine, and then we give the measles rubella 1 vaccine.
So Auntie Esther, please let's just take let's go for a quick commercial break, and then when we come back we are going to continue from where Auntie Esther stopped. The conversation is getting interesting, and we'd also have to acknowledge some of our sponsors and people helping us. Our main sponsor for this particular program is Crossover Prayer Ministry. Crossover Prayer Ministry is our main sponsor as far as Crossover Health Talk Show is concerned. With Crossover Prayer Ministry, are you entangled in any spiritual issues? Do you have issues bothering you? Are you having bad dreams? Do you want a place to pray where your prayers will be answered within a second? Do you want a man of God to speak into your future and tell you what is ahead of you? Do you want a man of God to direct you as far as the journey of Christianity is concerned? Then the one place you ought to be each and every Sundays and other days in the week is Crossover Prayer Ministry, where prayer is mandatory. You come, you pray for yourself, pray for your family, and the man of God intervene on your behalf, and there will be breakthrough. By kind courtesy of Crossover Prayer Ministry, we are able to come your way with this show. Our WhatsApp numbers is right on your screen. You can also stream with us live on Facebook, Crossover TV, on YouTube, Crossover TV. You can also watch us live on TikTok. The name is Dr. Agey on TikTok. You can follow this show right on TikTok. We are going for a commercial break. Don't go away. We'll be right back. You're welcome back from that quick commercial break. The name of the program is Crossover TV on Crossover TV. Crossover TV or Crossover Health Talk Show on Crossover TV. I am your host, Dr. Frederick Agey. Today, I'm in the studio with one of the finest, youngest, registered, the title again, registered public health nurse. Auntie Esther, in the person of Esther Awati, she's a registered public health nurse. Today we are discussing of child welfare, and then we are looking at immunization before we went on that quick commercial break. So let's go back to our guest and continue. So Auntie Esther, before we went on that quick commercial break, you were talking about at 9 months. So what happens?
So at 9 months, we continue with the immunization, which is the measles, rubella 1,
Okay.
and then the yellow fever.
Okay.
Then at 1.5 months, which 1.5 years, which is 16 months, we give the measles, rubella 2.
Okay.
We give the second dose of the measles, rubella, and then we give meningitis A.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
meningitis A came to the northern region. It was a pandemic in the northern region.
Okay.
Where we had to.
Was it the time of the meningitis outbreak?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
That was when it
Yes.
came. Okay.
So we had to. The government had to initiate or add the meningitis vaccination to the routine vaccine, which is being given to the children
Okay.
from 0 to 5 years.
Okay.
Yes, please. So aside that, we have the vitamin A we give on 6 months, 6 months interval.
Okay.
So at 6 months, we give the first vitamin A supplementation,
Okay.
which is the 1,000 unit,
Okay.
the 100,000 units.
Okay.
Then at 1 year, we give the supplement, which is the 200,000 units.
Okay.
Then at the subsequent 6 months to 5 years, we give the 2,000 units
Units. Oh.
vitamin A.
Okay.
Yes, please. So with our mothers, what they do is that after the 1.5 injection, which is a 1.5 injection, they refuse to come back to the facility because what they say is we are done taking our immunization and that's all. But not knowing the vitamin A is supposed to be given to 5 years.
Okay.
And then aside that, we start with the children deworming. We start with deworming of the children from 2 years
Okay.
to the 5 years until we graduate them. We say graduate them and then they are up for their childhood or
Okay,
the growing years, and then they are out of our hand.
Oh,
But
okay.
aside that, not that we don't take care of them, but because our target group is from 0 to 5, they are our main focus or our main concentration.
Okay.
Yes, because children of that stage are very immunosuppressive. Their immune system is not as strong as an adult or
Okay.
an adolescent or
Okay.
a growing child. Yes.
So what that really means is that the child at that particular point of time, as in from 0 age to
Five.
age 5, they are prone to infectious diseases and airborne diseases and all that. Oh, okay, that's fine. So mom and dad, we are really learning. I mean, the little baby in the belly is a gift from God, and that child, as a gift as that child is, we need to cherish that gift and we need to take very good care of that gift, because in the near future this gift is going to save you, not just you, but the entire nation and entire country, or perhaps the entire world. Today we have technology all over. I mean, we are able to reach our loved ones abroad without the stress and all that things. This is due to technology, and the people behind this technology are humans as we sit here today. And these humans we are looking at, or we are appreciating their handiwork, have been taken to the hospital by their parents when they were young for this immunization and other things to commence. That is when they were able to get the chance to go through all these things. So we are advising our mom and dad, please, I mean, let's cherish that baby in the womb. Let's support our wives. Let's support our mothers. Let's support our women. When the woman is pregnant, it is always good to follow your partner to the hospital where she's going for antenatal, because sometimes one can choose to forget due to pressures and certain circumstances surrounding pregnancy. So when we follow our partners or our spouse to the hospital, what the doctors and the midwives and the public health experts will say, we can also remind our partners on that and let them know the right thing to do. So it's always good to follow your partner to the hospital and then know what is wrong. Then it is advisable, just as our public health expert is telling us, we need to take our children for immunization right from day one of birth. What it also means is that even if that child is not given birth to at the hospital and the child is given birth to in their house or even in the car, don't say you are done. Please, just still take that child to the hospital and have that child immunized against these diseases that our public health expert just educated us on, so that when the child is growing up, the child can develop well, his brains will develop well, his bones will develop well, his general well-being will develop well, so that that child doesn't end up becoming a burden onto you, whereby you would be transporting this child from hospital to hospital due to our own carelessness or negligence. Let us not wait till we get there. Let's take our children to the hospital. Let's have them immunized. So, Auntie Esther, I want to ask this. Someone just sent a message on Facebook asking that, I mean, all this process you are talking about, is it not going to be expensive? How many mothers can afford all this treatment, immunization, injections you are quoting here and there?
Thank you very much. So, with the immunization, in fact, with the RCH service, which is the child welfare service, talking about the weighing, the counseling, the immunization, everything of that is free.
Wow.
Is fully sponsored by the government.
Wow.
So please, we don't come to the child welfare clinic and say give a token or pay for this or come with an insurance or something.
Wow.
We don't do that. And then I want to chip in this. You know, there is something we call male involvement.
Okay.
So which means when you bring your husband or a male follows you there, you are being treated. You know, we don't allow our males to queue.
Okay.
You are being attended to first.
Wow.
Before the others.
Wow.
So even if you are late or you are going somewhere with your husband, you just come with your husband. We attend to you first because we see you to be our topmost priority. Yes, the man following you shows that yes, you are recognized. They value the service. Okay. So we don't also make allow them waste time, because we know that they are the breadwinners of the family, and then they are in a hurry to go and then work to bring money to the family.
Wow.
So our male do not join queue.
Wow.
They come, we attend to them first. To whether they are first or last, we attend to them first before any other client.
Wow. Daddy, if I'm you, I'll make use of this opportunity. First thing Monday morning, when mom is going for that child welfare or weighing, I will follow her and make sure that my wife is treated first. My wife is given the first treatment, and we can leave that place in no time and attend to other business. The conversation is getting interesting. So our public health expert just made us to know that it is free of charge. It is fully sponsored by the state, fully sponsored by government. Government has paid for these vaccines. Government brought these vaccines into the country to make sure that our future leaders, our future president, our future doctors, our future military men, policemen, I mean, talk of it, our future plumbers are even taken good care of right from birth before they reach that future age, and they would be beneficial to the country and the society as large. So you have no excuse to stay in the house. It is free of charge, free of charge. You are not paying anything when you take your child in for all these vaccinations Madam Esther just mentioned of. So Auntie Esther, quick one. Let me ask this before. I know our time is almost running up, but let me ask this before. So at which point or which facility can we find this public health expert? I'm asking this because sometimes we are sick or we are ill, and then we are being taken to the hospital, only for us to get to the hospital and they will tell us that, oh, this is your condition, we don't have a specialist here, or we don't have someone here to handle, so we want to refer you to a particular center where they have that specialist. So with this immunization thing and all that we've talked about, is there particular destinations where mothers would have to go to, or it cut across? How is it? What is the arrangement for this?
Okay, thank you very much. So with the government facilities or even with the private facilities, okay, let me start with the government facility. With the government facility, we have a static RCH point, or the public health departments, or the child welfare department. We have a static one, which means it runs from Monday to Friday. Okay, and then with the private facility, we call them the outreach. Even with some of the private facility, they have a static RCH point, or public health department, which is being run from Mondays to Fridays. But also, when you don't get it, when you are not close to the facility or a clinic, or a clinic or a health center, we have a smaller clinic we call the cheap zones. Okay, we in the urban areas don't normally have a chief's compound like that of the rural area, where you go into a compound, a chief's compound, or a health facility or a health center, where you can get access to the RCH. Yes, in the urban area, we normally have a cheap zone, which is mostly, some of them are under trees, maybe under a shelter, a shade or something, but they provide the same service as going to the facility. And then the government brought that because, some people will say because of transport, they can't travel to a far facility to access this service. So the government has brought it to their doorstep. So I am sure whenever you go, I don't think up to a meter, or yes, you have to, up to a meter, you should get an RCA center, a cheap zone, or a clinic, or I'll say yes, a clinic, a cheap zone, or a bigger facility. Yeah. So when you go to the hospitals, you have a static clinic which runs from Monday to Friday. But with the outreaches, which is the smaller clinics, yes, we have a day, a particular day. So if it is this area, probably we run it on Mondays, and then we go to some other place to run it on Tuesday, another place to run it on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. The only day we don't work is on Saturday and Sunday. Even with that, when we have programs like national immunization day, like giving of COVID, or we are going around to give the vaccine, or doing the mop-up, we come on Saturday and Sundays.
Oh, wow. That's fine. That's nice. So, viewers, we've heard Madam Esther Awati. She is a registered public health nurse, and she's with us today in the studio. We're discussing on child health and immunization. We've learned so many things. Madam Esther has taught us how come we normally get these scars on our shoulders, and then the rationales behind it, and the importance of having your child immunized against any form of diseases and illness. The name of the show is Crossover TV Health Talk Show. That's the name of the show, and it's forecasting every Saturday exactly at 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. each day, on every Saturday, and the show is repeated on Thursdays at 7 to 8 p.m. Do make a date with us every Saturday, whilst we bring your way educative and interactive topics as far as health is concerned. I am your host, Dr. Frederick Agey. The show is getting interesting, but everything that has beginning, just by the Bible says, also has an end. Very soon we'll be bringing the show to an end. But before then, Madam Esther said something. She said some of these services has been made free and available at our doorsteps, including our remote areas. When we talk of remote areas, our villages, some of these services are there. So when you get to your village, do ask of where the chip zone is located. A chip zone is not where the chief stays. A chip zone is a small facility, a small clinic, program or designed to give relief, or in other words, first aid to the people located within that jurisdiction. So if you are pregnant, you can easily go there. They would attend to you just like the big hospitals would do. If you give birth, you can easily go there. They would attend to you just like the big hospital would do. That is a chip zone. So most often when you travel to your village, do ask of a chip zone. Go to the chip zone, pay them a visit, ask them what they do there, learn something from them, and also be of help, because our chip zones in Ghana needs help. Like she was saying, some of the chip zones are under trees, some are in the shade somewhere and all that. I mean, the government is doing its best, but the government can't do it all. So if you can also help, you hold one side, the government hold the other side, and we bring relief to the good people of Ghana. Let's go to our guest, Madam Esther Awate, for her last words, and then we wrap up on the show. So, Auntie Esther, the show is interesting. We are gradually getting to the end of the program. Your last words could be advice. It could be something you want to tell us.
Thank you very much. So what we want to get is to get a herd immunity.
Okay.
Yes, a herd immunity whereby when there is an outbreak of, let's say, measles or measles rubella or yellow fever, our children will be protected.
Okay.
Whereby when one person is infected, the other person close to him, children play around, will be safe or will be protected from getting it. We say prevention is better than cure. It is better for you to get immunized and then prevent this disease, which are preventable, than to get infected and then you will struggle to get cured.
Wow.
Yes, get cured. Thank you.
Wow, so that is a very wonderful way of saying goodbye to us. He said prevention is always better than cure. That is right. You need to prevent. And I always say this with any opportunity that I get on any platform that I get, in that in Africa we are not doing preventive medicine. We are rather doing the cure treatments. That is why we end up having a lot of infections and diseases surrounding us nowadays. But if we can inculcate the habit of prevention practice into our day-to-day activity or our day-to-day life, we can reduce the hypertension, we can reduce the diabetes, we can reduce all these illness and sicknesses surrounding us that is taking us to the hospital every now and then. My guest on the show today is in the person of Miss Esther Awate. She's a registered nurse, a registered public health nurse, and she works with, please, your facility. Would you like to?
I work with the Nima Sub-Municipal,
Okay.
under which we have the 22 polyclinic,
okay.
located around Kowana.
Oh, okay. So if you are in love with the way my guest is smiling, since she came to the show, she has always been smiling, and her smile alone is an infectious smile. It can push you to smile, and her smile alone can also cure you of certain diseases. If you want to be attended to, or you want to see Madam Esther Awate in person, you can visit the Community 22 Polyclinic. That is where she practices. She is with the Public Health Unit at the Tema Community 22 Polyclinic, located at Kuwanasu in the Ashama municipality. That is where Esther works. The show is interesting. Esther, do you want to say hello to someone? Do you want to say hi to someone before we make leave of you?
All right, thank you very much. So my greetings or my regards go to all staff in the Nima Sub Municipal, especially my in charge, Sister Pat, Patient Amenuku, and then my colleagues, Christian Village team, Cypher team, Newtown team, 22 team. Yes, my greetings to you all.
Wow, so that is wonderful. And please be reminded that the name of the program is Crossover Health Talk Show, and it shows on Crossover TV on the digital channel. It's also on DSTV. It's also on Multi TV, and our online stream is Facebook Crossover TV, YouTube Crossover TV, and on TikTok it's Dr. Agey on TikTok. You can also follow. You can send your questions, comment, like, and share our page. Follow our page, and then click on the notification bell on Facebook and click on the notification bell on YouTube, so that whenever we are live, you would have a reminder or a notification reminding you that Crossover TV Health Talk Show is live. I want to say a very big thank you to our proud sponsor. Without them, this program wouldn't have been successful for us to learn what we've learned today. Our proud sponsor is Crossover Prayer Ministry. Crossover Prayer Ministry is a church, and it's located at Community 25 on the Savannah Road or Savannah Junction. When you get to the Savannah Junction, you take your right turn. It brings you straight to Crossover Prayer Ministry. It's a church where children of God are gathered, where the word of God is preached. Undiluted word of God is preached, where deliverance is bring to the children of God. Chains are being broken, burdens are being lifted, and all that. So make a date and then come to Crossover Prayer Ministry, and your life will never be the same. By the kind courtesy of Crossover TV, we bring this show to you, and I'm your host. As always, my name is Dr. Frederick Agey. I am the host of this program. I would also want to say a very big thank you to our producer, Mr. Michael. He has done a wonderful job. He is controlling the show, and by his kind mercies and his good work, this show is being brought to us. I also want to thank our cameraman, Desmond. Desmond is also one wonderful man behind the camera. He is making sure that you see our faces and our smiles and all that. I also want to thank our MCR. We have Elom Ahusu at the MCR. She's one wonderful person. She is controlling the screens and everything to make sure that you have a wonderful show. I also want to say a very big thank you to our executive producer in the person of Prophet Isaac Kwesi Ahusu. He is the head pastor and general overseer of Crossover Prayer Ministry. In fact, he is doing well. He's doing well. Papa, may God bless you. May he increase your oil. May he lift you so you will be blessing to many as you've always been. The name of the show again is Crossover Health Talk Show. This and every Saturday at 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock p.m. each Saturday. And the show is repeated on Thursday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Thursdays as well. Do make a date with us each and every day, and you will learn something very interesting. I am your host once again, Dr. Frederick Agey. Till next week, I just want to leave you with these few words. It is not over until it is over. Eat well, sleep well, drink well. Health is expensive. Know how to live your life, know how to live your health, and you will never be disappointed. See you again next week. Till then, bye-bye.